My goodness, guys, talk about a rough day for Tesla stock today after the company reported earnings yesterday. Now the stock's down 12.5%, so we have to break down the charts, the earnings, what I'm looking to do. So hit the like button, make sure to subscribe. You might as well follow me on X as well at Stas Talk Stocks. That's linked down below. And with that being said, guys, cheers. Let's dive right into the video. And by the way, yes, this is a Gatorade Zero. We're rocking the Gatorade today, guys. And of course, we have this coffee that, well, I need to re-up on here. We're out of the coffee, guys. But either way, cheers, guys. Let's dive right into the video. So it's about 1:15 p.m. right now on the East Coast. And by the way, all the indexes, the Dow, the S&P, Russell, NASDAQ, they're all in the green as Tesla, like I said, man, is getting destroyed. It's down 12.5%, down over $25 per share. And before we dive into the earnings, let's take a look at this chart quickly, which, do you guys remember the descending triangle we called out yesterday? Well, that ended up playing out to a T. You guys probably remember we called out the support at about 205 as we were making lower highs into that support. Do you guys remember that? And I told you all, if we were to take out 205, 200, this could free fall from that point. And well, that's exactly what we ended up seeing, as again, now we're down over 12%, down 20, almost $6 per share. So Tesla's now at $181, clearly collapsing on the 5-day, 5-minute, death cross, under the moving averages, all that. All that good stuff for the bears, not so much for the bulls, obviously. And here on the 10-day chart, you guys can see that as well. And on the 20-day chart, too. You guys can see we're down from 265 just about a month ago to now 180, which means we're down well over 30 or 20%. So we're down actually 32%, heavily in a bear market in just the past month alone. And if you guys look at the all-time high here on Tesla, which brings me to another point, we can see it's at 414. Now we're down from that point to where we are now. Again, 180. We're down, let's see, about 60%. And here on the max chart, you guys can see we have a head and shoulders. Do you guys notice this? Now that we're seeing, clear resistance at about $300, which, mind you, we failed at $300 back in the beginning of 2021, about 3 years ago. We're seeing this neckline, we're seeing the head and shoulders in general play out. And we're seeing resistance at the neckline, which you guys can see right here. Let me draw this out. Do you guys see this on Tesla here on the max chart? That clearly, is playing out right now. We got rejected at 300. Head and shoulders is playing out. Now we're starting to dump down here. And to be honest, I would not be surprised if we slid maybe even more at this point, maybe mid hundreds, 150, $60. I wouldn't be surprised if we did get there. But then again, guys, if I draw this channel out, we can see we are pretty oversold. So before we ultimately get there, or before we maybe get there, it's not guaranteed, obviously, we might get a relief rally, considering, let me show you this, we are now at the bottom of this channel. Do you guys notice we're at the bottom of the channel now? So yeah, snapback rally on Tesla is looking pretty likely, in my opinion, in the short term, although I could be wrong. Nothing's guaranteed, obviously. I just think we're way beaten down. So, let's let the dust settle. That's what I'm doing. And I might consider picking some up as a short-term trade here, maybe as a bounce back. As again, this is just way beaten down, almost down. It's actually down roughly $80 per share in the past month. So yeah, now that we broke down the charts and kind of some thoughts there, please do your own research, by the way, guys. Let's dive into this right here so we can talk about what's going on with the earnings that just came out. And actually, before we break down what you guys are seeing right here, let me show you this, which will show you a quick rundown on the earnings. This CNBC article, this also has a nice chart that I want to show you guys too. So we can see they did 71 cents adjusted EPS, which did miss the 74 cents expected. And guess what? They missed on revenue as well. 25.17 billion versus 25.6 billion expected, and total revenue only increased 3% from the $24.3 billion a year earlier. An operating margin for the quarter came in at 8.2%, down from the year ago's quarter figure of 16% and slightly higher than the 7.6% in the prior quarter. So think about why the revenue is not growing as much as it was before, percentage-wise. It's because the company is cutting prices like crazy in all these markets. China, Europe, US, the Americas, right? You name it. They're cutting prices to compete with the other EV players because essentially, especially in China right now, there's an all-out price war for Tesla. So they're cutting prices, which is A, eating into their margins, which you guys know that already, and B, that is causing their overall revenue to not grow as much. Because think about it. Let's say a Model 3 hypothetically was at $45,000. Now it's at $40,000. They may sell the same amount of Model 3s, but that $5,000 difference makes up for a big difference. Now, hopefully, the idea here is as they cut the prices, they'll be able to sell more units, which I 100% believe they will be. So hopefully, long term, that revenue snaps back a bit. We start to get that growth again. But for now, in the short term, as we are getting the price cuts in real time, it is affecting the short term, or not the short term, but it's affecting just this year's revenue growth. We'll see if that continues moving forward, obviously, but that's kind of what's going on here. And look at this. This shows you, this chart, Tesla's quarterly revenues. Let me make my face a bit smaller and zoom in here on what's important, which is the chart, guys. You can see if it wants to zoom. There we go. We can see this is Tesla's quarterly revenues by segment, Q1 2019 to Q4 2023. You guys can see that. And we can see clearly we had a ton of growth in 2019, obviously, right? 2020, 2021, 22, and then we actually saw over the past couple of quarters this stagnate a bit, right? We're slowing down a bit, and automotive revenue is completely at a halt right now, I believe. I think year over year it was up only 1% or something like that. So this shows you clearly that this is mostly a automotive company at this point, at least from a revenue standpoint. 95 or 90% of their revenues come from automotive sales. And sure, we have services and other revenue, energy storage, and energy generation, sure, but still, most of the revenues coming from the blue bar here, which is total automotive revenues, and the yellow's energy generation and storage, and yada, yada, yada. So you guys can see that. And of course, Elon is still trying to get that 25% voting control of Tesla. Will he get that? I don't know. Time will tell. But he does want more say, or he's saying he's going to take certain projects away from Tesla, like his, Optimus robot that he's building, other projects as well, which if I was a Tesla shareholder at the moment, which I'm not right now, guys, I would not like hearing, Elon go on Twitter rants in general, but him saying that in particular as well. I would not want to see that. But hey, Cybertruck's hitting the market. That's something worth watching for this year. Of course, they're more affordable vehicle, whatever that ends up being called, Model 2, Model this, Model that, I don't know. But whenever that hits the market, that's going to be great as well. God knows when that's going to happen. But yeah, let's come over here quickly. I want to show you guys this shows you the operational summary for the company. This shows you the Model 3/Y production here at the top and the other models production on the second line. Then we have total production here at the bottom. So we can see when it comes to Model 3 and Model Y production, year over year, that grew 14%. They produced 476,000 roughly Model 3s and Model Ys in Q4 2023. And that was compared to last year's 419,000, but for other models like the Model S, Model X, that declined 12% year over year. They produced 18,200 Model X's and S's, right? Compared to the 20,600 from last year. So obviously they're producing way, way, way more Model 3s, Model Ys. Everybody knows that, right? But it's interesting to see how the production for the other vehicles, X and S, the less popular ones, that's going down from last year. Let's see what else here, guys, when it comes to deliveries. Looks like Model 3 and Model Y deliveries are up 19% year over year, 461,000 for Q4 23 versus 388,000 for Q4 22. And it looks like here other models deliveries, 22,900 for Q4 23 versus 17,000 from last year. So that's up 34%. So it's funny, other models deliveries, that's up 34%. So implying Model S and Model X, but the production is down 12%. So they're not producing as many, but they are delivering almost 23,000 other models in terms of deliveries. So yeah, guys, we could talk all day. I mean, this report is long. I'm talking long. Well, not that long, but we could go over a bunch of stuff here. But of course, this is only a YouTube video. You know, it's got to be around 10, 12, 15 minutes, or people nowadays, they're not going to watch it. So yeah, we got to keep it short, precise, simple, and you guys can see all these. I mean, we have the balance sheet right here. We got the statement of operations, yada, yada, yada. There's so much to go through. But yeah, I just wanted to break down a couple of things here in this video, the charts, the key numbers, some other things. So hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe, guys. The goal for this year is to hit 50,000 subs. So without you, obviously that's not possible. I appreciate you all as always. And you might as well get up to 15 stocks for Moomoo, each up to $2,000. Fund your account at least $100. Using that link down below, you get 5 stocks, and fund it with at least $1,000. You get 10 more stocks, totaling 15 stocks, and each of those could be valued up to $2,000. So get on it. Use that link down below, or go to stocksurfest.com/Moomoo. Get your stocks. And with that being said, cheers. I'll catch you guys later.